So, friends, this is what you gotta look out for. This society is dangerous. It's filled with dangerous people that need reining in and readjustments to their characters. Won't you donate a little something now? Thank you.
Astrologically coded, and people like him don't come along very often, you know? You know, people are, you know, they're in various delusions, you know, a false attribution, you know?
So, it must be true that within you has been fostered this dangerous dependence. You really must have access to resources that most people don't. There are people already present in your little circle, and, you know, they came along and, you know, said, oh, we'll look in on him. See what he's doing. We might even know, I don't know. Oh no, we won't manipulate him. We won't really do anything to him. This is the safest way to get to the truth. It's the safest, most trouble-free way to get to the truth. You know, I see your name all over town. All over town, different business names. I wonder about that. Is it just a popular name? So, you know, I'm not interested in your money if you have money. I mean, I'm not interested in that. And I'm not even particularly great with money, you know, and I should be getting some money here because these people, they don't want me to do anything. They don't want me to do anything. They just want to continue to remote neural monitor me. Oh, you don't, that's not real though. No. Wireless surveillance of the human organism. It's not real. Have you ever done the pixel press test on your eyeballs? You know, have you ever done that? You should, whoever you are out there. They only let up for like about a minute, and then I was hearing these symphonies and like the machine rhythms and all this stuff, you know, so around me in the room, and just, you know, like I used to sometimes. Oh, it was quite something. My pineal gland kicked on again, you know. My life is just some silly movie, you know. And I'm watching it from the back row. Yep, that's how it is. It's how it's been for years now, you know. And they like to wrap it up, you see. They want to wrap it up. See, I used to know, when I first previewed all this, I had immense insight into everything. And man, oh man, was it horrific. It was so horrific. Yeah, they'd like to wrap it up, you know, because I'm right there at the precipice, you know. I could have a real life. You know, I could have a real satisfying life. But no, they'd like to push me into suicide, and that's what all this was about. And you'd been cultivated specifically to be the trigger for that.
15/06/2015. I'm on a voyage to Alaska. It's a cold morning and I've been progressively coming off of caffeine. Something wrong with the coffee here that's discouraging me. Back when I was underemployed, I'd spend a lot of time in coffee shops. Head hurts. The overhead flickering fluorescent tubes I've turned off, and the sole source of light is the overcast skies coming through a half-curtained porthole. I've turned on the heater for the first time since we left Seattle. It's been a week. It's reminded me of my time on a troop carrier ship back in the early 2000s. I don't know what to say for myself. I'm waiting for work, which should start tomorrow at 0600 and go to 2200 hours. 2200, yes, they use military time here. A lot of former military personnel on board, mainly U.S. Navy. In fact, I'm sure I recognize at least one or two, or maybe I recollect them from a vision. Small world, and it astounds me how much influence one man can have. The food is better than I expected. It's multiculturally accommodating, keeps the standards somewhat high. The purple drink has Splenda in it, though, and the clowns are swilling it down. A lot of future diabetics aboard. Yes, you read that right. I'm looking at 16-hour days for 3 months, roughly. I'm no stranger to hard work, though many here are, it seems, a large percentage from Lancaster, California, a satellite city of Los Angeles. A lot of urban black 20-somethings who think they're in hell already, and I don't doubt that working conditions will become hellish, with severe boat rocking compounding the slosh tiredness and strain. Yeah, I've done more than my share of brutally hard work, and I've got the scars from cuts and burns to prove it. Not that I care to prove anything to anyone. Well, some will say they were lured onto a slave ship soon, I've no doubt. Possibly I will even say it to myself only. Of course, some of these characters are all right. I've talked to some of them and been reminded of a few things. There's some strange politics here, and I don't know where I stand. I try to look out for myself very conservatively. I even tried to get a better job than the rank and file. While doing so, tried to present myself in the best possible light. I'm actually very afraid. Many know who I am, and rumors born out of boredom abound. They watched American Sniper on the TV in the galley and asked me what I thought of it. In truth, I thought it was ridiculous and cheap propaganda, but I said, oh, pretty good, yeah. After the fashion of the day, I was made to know that SEALs kick ass, to which I smiled tightly and nodded. I guess so. They kick ass like sports players on a particularly good team. Right. Blood and guts everywhere is what results when some behinds receive minor impacts from combat boots. You'd really have to kick someone hard for their tailbone and pelvis to pulverize and their blood and stomach contents to come out of their throat. All I gotta say, only I would never say this in the real world. They think I'm crazy, and I guess I qualify. It's the mob's perspective that matters here. Man, I've got so little enthusiasm left. They've been watching me snoop around, taking my mental notes, seeing how everything operates, as is my habit and natural inclination. Yes, I suppose I could finagle some way or another to kill everyone on board. Of course, I might have to wait until the next time around to create a proper skeleton crew. And that's the book they've seen me reading in the galley, Skeleton Crew, a collection of short stories by Stephen King. It's got quite a few tales related to paranoia and gang stalking in it. Really a warning against walking down that path of believing people are out to get you, even if some really are. The author was very much a partaker of the psychoactive cannabis plant.
That's very evident in all his writings, very open to all kinds of possibilities. Cannabis, a common wild herb set to become legal for any use at all in the state of Oregon in around 15 days, I think. I only like it in its cooked form once in a while. I've been considering these people carefully, what sort of preparations they've made, what they've hashed out sketchily they'd do if they felt threatened or justified in 86ing someone, and verily I am a little scared, and they did initiate a psychological harassment operation campaign and an attempt to provoke me into violent retaliation as a way to get me off the ship. Though that's all cooling now. I had a vision many years back that told me I'd at least make it through this period and walk away with some money. I try to manage my appearance well. I wear the company hat whenever I get the chance. I try to blend in and talk to people pleasantly when there's opportunity. Well, I bought a couple of Marlboro cartons on credit. I don't smoke. The primary reason being is to implant the idea that I'll be staying around, and late in the season when tobacco will likely be scarce, I'll be set up to make a tidy little profit. It's not crazy. It shows self-interest. Anyway. Maybe boredom enticed me to sample the product. Yesterday, I burned 3/4 of a cig. These damn Marlboros are diabolically formulated. Very addictive over other brands I've tried. That is my feeling, anyway. The icky after effects and autoimmune reaction of the high are exacerbating the motion sickness. That, combined with caffeine withdrawal, is making me a little nauseous. So I'm going to lie back on my bunk and sleep as the engine below rattles the lockers musically. I'm not one to complain about the illnesses I bring upon myself. This is very uncharacteristic. Goodbye for now. Oh, there's so much I have to gloss over now. It's too damning. I'll read this little poem composed in the period. Quite a number, but I'm realizing they're just too damning of folks still alive. Don't really deserve this. Oh my, that one's anyway. Being equals the past. Having equals the future. Dark land masses lost in lighter cloud. The smooth, cold face of the water reflecting a whipping white worm. Fallen from the half moon hanging low, which seems to falsify its origin. Far out there, a golden mirror. A reptilian claw rises up through the slight waves. They can have my hair, but not my teeth. All the rest of it is, I can't read this poem either. Subject and object, unified and boundless strength, make it into a rap video. Refrain. A crushing pressure and burst of bubbles. I swam up through the forever dark. What? Water cold enough to suck the life out of me. It ran according to a program that I'd be fearful, and I thought of sharks. This is their domain. Giant and swift. Invisible. What? Then cold, jagged horror beyond hell. Blood dispersed, flesh wrapped up in a different skin to cruise all over in search of flesh and blood. The only warmth in the damned universe. Fear and power driving me. I hate misfeeding and overfeeding. The juice is not worth the squeeze. You are all in error, not listening to your hearts. Oh, actually, you are listening to them. Yes, you are. I hate your zits, your intestinal weakness. I don't care what your ass is going to do when you have all this money. I don't care how you do back in Compton. I want you to talk like men, and not mentally deranged clowns with speech impedimentation. I don't care what you are looking for a bitch. I don't care that you are looking for a bitch because you're dick hard. You can tip over the railing and fuck a shark mouth if you can find one before the cold embrace. I will know my own soul. That's slightly racist, I think. I will practice that which goes unpromoted and look at whatever I want to and relate to it in ways unfathomable to your shallow, scared mind. I don't care anymore that the Rockefellers fucked you to death. and that cheap graves on a distant hill wait for all the young meat puppets to slide into. I hate satanic subhuman beasts who have never known what the belt loops are for. Drink your life away, smoke crack all day. I don't care that you don't understand what you are looking at when you regard me, but you're gonna see your death after a minute, motherfucker. I will stamp you out, reform you in an unliberal way. 1606-15. No fish yet. Though we're headed into Bristol Bay, I made converse with the captain at his perch. Many years up there told me about last season the idiosyncrasies of fishing. I looked over the instruments of the bridge. Quite a few up there, of course. Tomorrow I'll work some hours doing something anyway. Just as a note, sleeping with your head to the west shifts the nervous system consciousness into past territory, causes it to favor its past history. Don't ask me how. I had quite a few visions and dreams in perfect clarity of people I had nearly forgotten, remembered their voices. A limited copy of their spirits seemed lodged in me. I've got a theory about navies. I've got a theory about sailing men, as opposed to ground troops, you see. There's so much less opportunity for rape out at sea, except when it's intra-rape of the homosexual variety. Classically, when men go a-warren, they like to get a little raping in after they conquer a place. It helps solidify their dominion, creates separation between the subjected men and their women. Also, you gotta remember, these soldiers had a hell of a hard time, almost died. Might have seen their lives flash before their eyes. Time for some reproduction. Keep their lines going. Also, there's a fringe benefit that they're hardly conscious of, that the resultant offspring will be less likely to engage in future violent conflicts. It's harder when you're killing families, see? So anyway, if you opted for a sailor's life, you're likely less reproductively inclined, meaning you've got less hope for the future, meaning you're more of a homo to begin with. Anyway, I just don't know what to make of these. Some of these clowns don't like the looks in their eyes, the lack of hope. Not sure what their interest is with me. Could be a lot of things, and they're working out possibilities. Not trying to be too lolsy here, but all I know is that it's a time-honored tradition to keep a cabin boy around. They know I'm desperate for money and might feel irrationally insecure in my position.
Unfortunately,
I've got to get
this is going to be another disintegration study.
Off the ground, upgrade one of my businesses, finish my novel, get it published in actual print this time, promote it. A lot of good literature suffers from lack of promotion. Maybe I should look into some other investment for making money. I don't know.
Last night,
it's a little concerning.
I was visited
Will they try
by
to strong arm me? A loose reenactment of a shower scene from a prison movie, being storyboarded out as I type. I've been thinking about weapons carriage for the shower setting. Some weird gaslighting in a conversation with this one guy with Sanpaku eyes. That's a Jap term. The Japanese say you're crazy if you have this feature.
Couldn't hurt them.
The whites beneath your eyes show all the time. A look of
I
extreme
love those
tiredness,
dreams.
synonymous with
Do all
insanity.
kinds of things.
Did you know that everyone's a terrorist
people,
now?
yeah.
And terrorists have no rights in the future. If you are somehow not a terrorist, you will at least be a criminal.
You elbow them,
you are in good standing.
spearing in.
All right.
Yeah.
This guy with the
Their eye sockets.
eyes, long history with companies.
Have a teeth. Nothing. Nothing. Kept pounding and pounding and pounding. No breakage. Nothing. And they keep advancing. And they're talking at you. Whatever they're saying isn't too compelling. I mean, I don't even recall it. It's always a scene at dusk. I don't know why that is. It's mainly dark. It's a scene at dusk. They're advancing down a sidewalk. You just run into them on a sidewalk. They've got a lowered, gaze, and they're just walking up. I don't know what that's about. Oh, it's some yeah. It's from some traumatic experience. Deep in my childhood. At the age of 11, I maybe 10 or 11.
I was previewing this yesterday. Well, I came to realize that my remote neural feed and everything that they got snaked in here, these polymer mesh conductive fabrics and real fine stuff that they can make circuitry off of, you know. Oh, you know, sometimes they shut me down. Sometimes I head rapidly into sleep and I don't know why, you know, and I oftentimes I'll force myself to get up and I'm swaying, you know, swaying on my feet. But it's really, really hard. But I have this realization about them. See, they actually,
Not just anybody.
you know, in the
Not
prevision at the age of 10 or 11,
anybody.
it was all very
Not
vivid, and
just
I actually
anybody.
knew how they did this, all the different particular aspects of the technology they were using. You know, they can just inject these. What they do, they snake in a conduit of, and they just bleed in CO2 out of a, you know, compressed canister, and it puts you to sleep. You know, that's one method. With me, they can do it wirelessly via radio frequency. But then, you know, they'll inject in. I don't know if they have to drill, real fine drill. They just inject in. Yeah, the needle's not. You'd have to sit there and drill through the skull with the point, as though it's an awl, and it, you know. I guess you could. You could go in through what, you know, the knitting lines. Just, you know, just through repetition. You know, different people have different shaped skulls, though, so gotta drill in there initially. And you just use some occlusive agent to stop the blood. It's not. There's all kinds of natural and unnatural occlusive agents or cauterizing agents. Sometimes they might just do that. They program you not to notice it. You know, it heals up. They inject that rolled up, you know, fine rolled conductive polymer mesh. And it's got the little transistor switches, different places. I've got one right here for some damn reason. I know that. Anyway, the thing is, as you when you commit suicide, you know, they don't like you to use a gun. You know, they like you to maybe cut yourself or something. This is what they tried to do to me in the past. Anyway, in the lead into death, they actually get all that feed, you know? And I guess it's just spectacular. You know, as you're actually dying, as there's no, you've reached the point of no return, your body will not be recovered. You know, we know fantastic things happen with these neurotransmitter dumps. Like, you know, and it's like never before. It's like nothing you've ever experienced before. It's far beyond what can be done even with psychedelic drugs. You know, it's far beyond that. So the thing is, they they get a facsimile of this. They get an electromagnetic facsimile of this, you know, which is part of this sort of snuff experience, you know, which they sell to the highest bidder. Oftentimes, your enemies, you know, who finance the operation, they get it, you know. But the thing is that these high-ranking gang stalkers, they they get to, you know, preview the product themselves, and I guess it's just spectacular, you know. And they say, "We took all that from him. We took all that from him," and they're just ecstatic about it, you know. Such is their Satanism. This is a real thing. It is. It's real. And I saw how they did it, how in all the particulars, every detail was laid bare to me at like the age of 11, you know? But now, you know, this thing is so crozzled and crossed, got all these nerve abridgments, you know, that they were doing a few years ago. It led to a takeover. Yeah, it led to a takeover. I'm a mind control puppet now. You know, I have to admit, you know, I got this much free will left. This much, you know, just this much. I have no higher connection, you know, nothing. They only shut it down for like a period of 5 minutes. That was last month. Because they thought, oh, that was just a higher engagement. It was like, no, they were just inletting all that.
Pre-slaughter supplement.
So then it maximizes the expression of the feed.
50.
You know, that's what they were doing because they were expecting that I would kill myself. You know, or that just builds a lot of little drama. It's all this drama. You know, it's like a pinnacle of drama. Then you go back down into the valley, you know, and traipse along these rolling hills, you know. But this is for the peak, the absolute peak, and cliffhanger, you know, experience, right? Where you fall into the abyss, you fall and fall and fall into the abyss, and you see everything that they've taken from you. You see. All that wonder passing by, you know, and that's what they distill. The essence of that, they essentially distill it, you know, electromagnetically. This is just done digitally, and then these people who are surely hellbound, they you know, they get a little taste of heaven, you know. And, you know, they hope that they can live forever, you know, as transhumans, as cyborgs. So, I mean, that's the little deal with the devil they do. This is damnable behavior. You know, really, I mean, these people should be chained to a tree, or chained to a pole, you know. Like a steel pole in the public square, and they should be stoned with hematite, you know, big chunks of iron ore, you know. And then when the rain comes in and it washes off the blood off the stones, and it makes its way into the rivers and everything, you know, that's a whole big metaphysical process that actually is very very healing for the environment, you know. And I could get into the details, but then you'd have to pay me $900. Anyway, I'm working on some things, and soon I'll be able to deactivate the implants, and then we'll see. Hopefully that won't kill me. You know, they're saying I need to learn how to die. You know, all these songs related to that, and it's just so. I mean, they were channeled songs. You know, these fuckers from the CIA, yeah, they wrote every word. You know, and it's given to these different artists, and you know. I don't know. Maybe the artists are talking about their own experiences. You know, it's kind of half and half. I think maybe. Well, I relayed what I wanted to you, and let you get back to it. Thanks, friends. Oh, listen. Hey, listen. Donna, you know, the fact that you won't give me 5 minutes of your time, you know, you could just say you were humoring a crazy man, you know, who's basically harmless, you know. Or you could say, oh, you know, well, he told me he's on this sort of, it's just all this strange art, and whatever the case, you know, whatever the case. But you know, you can answer, you know, you could clarify all kinds of things for me, you know, but you won't do that, you know. But you won't do that. And yeah, I don't know. You like to take other people's word for it, you know. You can't be direct and honest, so I'm open to talking to you, but you know, I really don't have high hopes. You know, I am open to talking to you, but this whole thing, I don't know. I don't know what, you know. They merely want me to think that you're involved with all this. This is part of some initiation into this disgusting cult. You know, I don't know. You might have the character, and the thing is, they may have prepped you for all this. You know, preconditioned you to all this. You know, mainly because of me, and I'm sorry about that. You know, I'm really sorry about that. You know, that may be true. I mean, this is certainly what they've led me to believe. All right. You know, again, I just, you know, a 5 minute conversation. I don't know what you have to hide, really. You know, a 10 minute conversation is that you know, I'll stay real calm. You know, whatever combination of words pops into your head, you could utter those words, and you know, my heart's gonna keep beating, and you know, my lungs are gonna expand. I'm gonna be fine. You know, I just want to know, you know, what your opinion is. You know, on all this, it would be helpful to me. You know, you'd be helping my psychological health. I know you don't owe me anything, of course not. You know, the thing is though that everybody's in a special circumstance. Everybody's different enough to where they, you know, it's sometimes, you know, good to try, you know, different things in defiance of these supposed rules, you know, because the world really is very complicated, and people are at war, and we got to iron all this stuff out, and the truth needs to be made known, and people need to struggle with different issues, you know, rather than evade and oh, it's, you know, it isn't much to ask, you know. Please call me. Please call me. Because at this point, I mean, if you won't talk to me, it is as though you are siding with people who are trying to destroy me, you know. And I hate to say that, and that's what they want me to say. That's what they want me to say. So maybe I'm going too far here. You know, I just call me, please. Please call me, because you don't know. You don't know, and you've been misled. And you don't think that those people have their motives? They have all kinds of different motives. They have plans within plans. You think they're just protecting you? I really am. You know, I have a very honest side to me. You know, just because this is partly artificial. This whole thing. You know, doesn't mean that I'm not an honest guy. And you don't know what's going on. There are things going on that I don't really understand, honestly. There are things going on I don't honestly understand, and I'm trying to search my memory of them, but I mean it's just stuff I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I'm just trying to have a real life. With somebody, with someone. You know. These are aspirations that everybody has, really, you know? It's just a human story, really. And the specific complexities of it, they are just what they are, you know? You don't have to believe in any of this. That's fine. You don't have to believe in any of this. But just humor a crazy man for once in your life. You've probably never done that. You probably never have done that.